Hello and welcome to this week's Warriors HQ. Coming up on the show, our team to face Edinburgh in the 1872 Cup decider, Ryan Wilson's new contract, our stadium expansion for the Guinness Pro 14 semi-final, and of course a visit to the analysis section. Earlier today we announced our team to face Edinburgh Rugby at BT Murrayfield in the 1872 Cup decider. Canadian winger DTH Van der Merwe will make his 100th appearance for the club. Tickets are still available for Silver Saturday and can be purchased at glasgowwarriors.org.
Well, it's unique that we have this third game now against Edinburgh, a third derby. So, you know, the best of three kind of format, and we're at 1-1 at the moment. So it's really exciting, but then it aligned perfectly with the traditional Cup Finals day. I understand at the moment we have over 60% of the crowd are Glasgow Warriors supporters. So that's a real great statement from our supporters of how much this game means to them and how much they want to see us play and perform in that game. So we're looking forward to giving it everything and trying to win that cup.
It was announced this week that our Guinness Pro 14 semi-final will take place on Friday the 18th of May. Kick-off for that game will be 7:45 and Scotstoun Stadium will be expanded to a 10,000 capacity. Work has already begun on extending the stands and tickets will go on sale next week to season ticket members. Club captain Ryan Wilson signed a new 2-year contract at Scotstoun earlier this week, and Warriors TV invited in his children to interview him.
What are your mates called?
What are my mates called? I've got loads of mates here, haven't I? Do you remember all their names?
Yes.
Go on then, name as many as you can, as many of the players, go. Quick.
Ali plays the babysitter, Johnny Gray, Ali plays the babysitter.
You said that. Huggy.
Tommy.
Uncle
Uncle Nico.
Gully Boy. You think of anyone else? Uncle Scribbles, Nick Griggs. Uncle Scribbles, yeah. So yeah, I do like coming in and playing with all the boys actually. It's good fun, isn't it? So Ali Price is our babysitter, isn't he? So whenever we come to rugby parties or social events, who looks after you guys? Ali Price. He's the babysitter.
To watch the full interview with Ava, Jackson, Bella and Ryan, head to our YouTube channel. Earlier this week, Pat MacArthur and Kieran MacDonald visited Alloway Primary School in Ayr thanks to CDM Scotland. The pair joined the kids in the classroom as well as leading a rugby session. The Glasgow Warriors coaches have nominated 7 players to be the McCrea Financial Services Player of the season. The poll is now live and you can vote at glasgowwarriors.org, and earlier today I caught up with head coach Dave Rennie, who talked me through all 7 nominees in our analysis section. So we'll start alphabetically. Matt Ferguson, how good's he been this year?
Oh, he's been great, Jack. You know, it's hard to believe he's just 19, but his ability to create go forward, he's got great footwork and power, so that's been a feature, and his dominance in and around tackle has been really strong as well, so he's had a great year.
Let's have a look at some of that now.
So here's an example against Exeter, so just some nice footwork, a bit of power, a bit of fend to create go forward and quick ball. Likewise, it's hard to pick up here, but it's the quality of his downline, the work he does off the ball to create a weak seam. And then again, footwork, a little bit of a fend and an offload. Yeah, and here, dominance in the tackle against Connacht, creating a turnover.
He's really physical in the tackle, isn't he? Another guy physical in tackles, Callum Gibbons. What an impact he's made in his first season. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've nominated him mainly on his playing ability, obviously, but his leadership's been immense. Really good man, fantastic on and off the field. His brutality has been great, and it's something he's really brought to this team. And so you highlighted here in this tackle. So he's looking for every opportunity to get a little bit of dominance in, and then back on his feet and trying to create turnover pill. Likewise here, this is a little bit more subtle. Maybe just take it back a couple of frames, Greg. But anyone loitering on our side has the ability to slow our pill down. So Callum identifying that and getting a sharp shoulder in to Evans to drive him out of the way. And then finally this one, maybe if we go wide out, Greg, but he's clearly off picture. So what happened here was this came from an intercept from Jacko. So we'd been under the pump for a number of phases. Ball's been in play a lot of time. We're playing at altitude, so it's been a hell of a game up till now. And Jacko gets an intercept, and then Cully comes from the other side of the field to end up picking up from here and scoring. So not a lot of guys in the picture, obviously, and then he arrives and picks up the plums. But if you'll see from his reaction here, when he hits the ground, he's
has to take a couple of minutes.
He's dead. Yeah.
Next we've got Nick Grigg. Now the players voted him their player of the season last year, and he's kind of carried on that good form this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean he probably looks more like a hooker. Not the biggest midfielder going around, but powerful. And this first clip is a great example of Nick's leg drive beyond contact. So he actually takes a big shot here from Mata, and but look at this leg drive here. Refuses to give in and constantly getting go forward. So that's a real feature of Nick's game, his ability to run sharp lines like this. And he's a very good chop tackler. He's not the biggest man, but obviously it helps him get lower, and a little bit of dominance here against Leinster. So good read from Nick, and then puts us in a position to contest with Pete Horn winning a penalty.
Now George Horn's our top try scorer, but it's not all about what he can do in attack, is it? He's been great all season.
Yeah, like his ability to get second touches are phenomenal, and he's a bit of a freak, George. I haven't coached too many, so someone like Damien McKenzie comes to mind, but a guy who's as fast as he is but can do it for 80 minutes, sort of at aerobic and anaerobic capacity, is phenomenal. So, but this highlights his competitiveness and defensive effort here. So we've just turned it over. And this is against Ospreys away from home. He's defending, and here comes George now trailing. Makes an important tackle, hangs on, and then we get up and we end up creating a turnover there. But you know, that game we won by 40 points in the end, but it just shows his competitiveness.
And we can't talk about George Horn without talking about his electricity going forward. Let's have a look at that here.
Yeah, so George's ability to get second touches is probably the best in the game over here. And so you see him running an optimistic line here. It puts himself in position to get his hands on the ball again. Gets a little creative pass from Hoggy, a nice little bit of footwork to turn him inside out, and then Tommy gets a second touch to score. So, yeah, like he's been really impressive and really his first major season. He's surrounded by really good halfbacks here, and he started a number of games ahead of them. So I think, you know, through Mike Blair, through Ali and Henry, and the help that I've given him to develop, he's had a massive season.
Next up, Jacko came in late to the season, has maybe played in a position he wasn't expecting to play, but has really shone.
Yeah, Jacko joined us basically 2 weeks out from the comp starting. And you know, I guess he felt that he was an option from a 10 point of view, and he got his opportunity early at 15 with Hoggy being out, and it's been outstanding. So he's got really good game awareness, always pops up in the right place. He's had a big say in our counter-attack and how we've run that, and you know, he's been excellent. So this is just an example of his ability to anticipate, and then you know, the quality of his skill set and decision making, which is a hallmark. So not the easiest pass to take there. He's sussed out from turnover ball that there's not a lot of covering behind. He's got a little bit of luck involved in this, but great skill to tap it forward off his knee, you know, dragging him with one hand and then throw the ball 30 metres straight up in the air. And here's a you know, classic example of Jacko's awareness. So runs a short line to take a pass off Nick, and then a creative pass over the top to the ever-present George Horn. So that's a fantastic ball.
And there's 3 of our nominations combined in there in that one try.
Quite right.
Next up, Sam Johnson. You've spoken a lot about Sam and how consistent he's been. He's not just the jack of all trades, is he? He's got little moments of magic in him too.
Yeah, like I think you know, with Sam, we've predominantly used 5 midfielders this year. 4 of those guys play for Scotland, and then you got Sam, and Sam has been outstanding this year. He's the complete midfielder, got great footwork, and but brings a lot of physicality as well and distribution. So you see an example over here. So he ends up with a bit of a dusty pass, but good acceleration and then footwork. Bit of a fend and then a creative pass over the top to find Hoggy. And then defensively, this is against Scarlets, but an excellent read. And he goes back door into Patchell. Been good enough to get up, back on his feet, claim the ball and create a turnover. So he's been outstanding, Sam. I've been really impressed with him.
And finally, George Turner, another new face this year who's really shone.
Yeah, I mean, George, he's like your modern hooker. Got a good skill set. Obviously set piece stuff is vital and around scrum and line out, which is a strength of his, but around the park he's electric, he's brutal. He's been great for us. So this is an example from a kick-off. He's only just come on the field as a replacement, and you see a sort of brutality here. And then again here you'll see how quick he is. So he picks up an intercept here, but he's got backs chasing him who can't make any inroads.
Yeah, that's the fly half trying to chase him down there, isn't it?
Yeah, so look, he's had a great season, George. He's knocked himself out a couple of times. It's the sort of intensity he brings to tackle and clean. But yeah, it's been nice for him. He's obviously got a couple of caps this year as well, playing for Scotland. That he's performed really well for us.
So you coaches have done your part. You put your 7 nominations in. Will you be voting if you had to pick one?
Yeah, well, I could pick one. Do you want me to tell you now?
No, let's leave it. Let's let the public decide. That's how you vote. If you head to our Twitter page, the poll is pinned to the top of the profile, and you can pick one of those 7 guys, and the winner will be revealed at our awards dinner at the Radisson Blu next Wednesday. Thanks for watching Warriors HQ. We end this week's episode with footage of the SP Energy Network's Warriors Championship semi-finals, and congratulations to Shawlands Academy and Wallace High, who progressed to next month's final.
So girls, what school are you from?
Lindsay Academy.
And are you enjoying it today?
It's been amazing. Even though we've lost, we've had so much fun just playing even.
How did you get on today?
I think we done well, although we didn't win all of them, but at least we got to try, so.
It's so fun to run about and play with your friends.
It's really good because obviously you're in the Warriors Stadium, which is really cool because I've never been here, so it's really interesting.